October 2015 forecast for the month. It's a very quiet California morning, and I wanted to take a moment to thank you so much for subscribing and tuning in and sharing and liking these podcasts, and for your loyal support on my Facebook page, Audrey Alison, Astrology and Tarot. And I also wanted to take a moment to thank the generous supporters who have donated to my website. When I originally built my website, I did not put a donate button on the front page, but I was inspired to do so from a woman in a beautiful little town called Manchester by the Sea in New England. And she had gotten a hold of me via email and asked me to create a donation button because she wanted to contribute to the channel without receiving a reading in return. And I just thought, wow, what a huge generosity in the year 2015. So I did create a donation button, and I want to thank the people who have donated from France and from New England. I appreciate that. Let's get into the forecast because there's so much energy going on with a couple of grand trines we are experiencing in October. And the first transit is occurring with Venus leaving your sign, Leo, and entering Virgo on the 8th of October. Venus has spent 4 months in the sign of Leo and even had a little retrograde moment with you, and you've had a beautiful 4 months with her beautifying the aesthetic look of you, but also the internal smoothing over of beauty, love, and finance. So she heads into Virgo through November 8th, and this might even be a little bit of a better transit for you because she's entering the second house. Virgo rules your second house of finance and money and possessions, self-worth and self-value. So she will be smoothing over that area now through November 8th. And Venus, as much as she is the goddess of beauty and Aphrodite and love and adoration and sensuality, she rules the sign of Taurus and Libra, but first Taurus. And entering another earth sign, she really grounds that sector. And this is your money, so there's some stability to this transit for you. Gaining more footing, gaining a solid ground with Venus in the second house, learning to save more, getting more reserves and more resourceful. On the 9th, Mercury turns direct, finally, at 0 degrees of Libra. He's still retrograde when I'm recording these forecasts, and he's my ruling planet, so bear with me. I've been tripling over my tongue a little bit in the forecasts, but he officially clears his shadow on October 24th, which is the degree in which he retrograded at 15 degrees of Libra. So Mercury now direct in your third house of communications is a much better placement for this planet. He rules, naturally governs communications, so him retrograde in the third house is actually probably the most difficult in a retrograde because you need that for travel locally, running errands, getting things done that could usually be effortless tasks. Now with him direct, smooth sailing, but officially clearing his shadow on the 24th. On the 11th, we have an aspect I want to bring up. It's the fact that Jupiter, who is stationed in Virgo now, along with Venus and Mars, will be trining the planet Pluto in Capricorn at an exact 13 degrees through the end of the month of October and even into November. So this is affecting Virgo, like I mentioned, conjunct Venus in your second house of money and possessions and self-value, trining positive harmonious energy to the intensity of Pluto in the 6th house of work, daily regimen, health, routine, how you are focusing on the hours within each day, the structure of your day. There's money and work to be had here. Beautiful energy for the Jupiter-Pluto trine for Leo. And it's getting even more beautiful once some planets start following Jupiter, like Mars, in October. At the exact degrees of this trine, there's a masculine influence and a speedy influence of Mars on the 15th and 16th. But let me go back slightly. On the 11th, this is when the trine begins. On the 12th of October, we have our new moon at 19 degrees of Libra, conjunct that direct Mercury. The new moon in the third house of communications. Do those people who now are speaking correctly, do you want to purchase a new vehicle? The third house is the house of the car. It's the house of neighborhood and siblings and communication and small tasks and clients and contacts. So the new moon here, new clients coming in, with that trine between the second and sixth house, new skill sets, new money, new clients, new contacts, new people coming into the picture for you. Set your intentions in the area of the third house, and that could work to your benefit. Now on the 15th and 16th consecutively, Mars joins Jupiter at an exact 13 degrees. So I'm calling him the stepbrother or the younger cousin or the younger brother who's very anxiously pulling at Jupiter, who's just this big jovial energy that's sitting and expanding the second house of finances, helping you to save. Throughout this 13-month period of time, as he remains there, he's going to be expanding the possession sector. So that's something you can rely upon. Also, he is giving energy to Jupiter. He is rapid excitement, energy, stamina, forward motion, and excitement and passion. And Jupiter is expansion and luck and abundance and optimism and faith. Sorry, the sun is rising right above me, so it's a little bright line in the camera. I hope that's okay. Anyway, on the 17th, Mars and Jupiter are then at an exact 14 degrees. So they're traveling, there's a theme together. They are in direct alignment in the cosmos together. And really, such a great pairing up. Usually we hear a lot about Venus and Mars together. But Mars and Jupiter wanting to expand the money sector. What a beautiful energy for your finances and for believing in yourself. Believing that you can obtain the financial goal, because Jupiter is faith and he likes taking risks. And I feel like these risks are going to pay off for you, Leo. On the 19th, the moon joins Pluto in Capricorn. So we have this earth energy. The moon is intuition. And Pluto is the intensity at 13 degrees of Capricorn, trining Mars at 15 degrees of Virgo, trining Jupiter at 14 degrees, and trining Venus at 9 degrees in Virgo. So this Earth trine energy is on point on the 19th, but use your intuition that day. The moon is absolutely instinctual energy. And in this trine, I feel like you will be intuitively led about your earnings and maybe choosing the best way to make this money. And you're heeding your own instinct at this time. It's receptive energy with the moon. On the 23rd, the sun enters Scorpio like he does every year at this time. This is affecting your fourth house of home. And what a beautiful place to have the sun, because your environment, your home, your foundation is where you might shine this month. You feel safe and secure in the home environment from the 23rd on. When the sun does enter Scorpio, it will ignite a trine between Pisces, Neptune and Pisces, and also eventually Chiron, the wounded healer. But that trine will be on a few days after the 23rd. Now, on the 27th, we have our full moon at 3 degrees of Taurus, and this is a supermoon. And we won't have another supermoon until April of 2016, and that will be a new moon. So you still won't see it like you'll see this moon on the 27th. 3 degrees of Taurus. So Taurus is an earth sign doing what we call the grand earth trine between the moon in Taurus, Pluto in Capricorn, and Jupiter in Virgo. So there is this intense energy on this supermoon at the 27th. This is affecting that second and sixth house again, but also adding in the 10th house of career where you hold Taurus. your recognition. This is all about your work and your earnings, Leo. And it's about how you are seen and how you are put out into the world. And it's about your status and your title and getting the reward and the recognition you deserve, and the money to show for it, the financial security to show for it, because this trine is earth. Like I said, it's grounding energy, it's stability, it's planting roots, it's solid resources. Now, I wanted to end this astrological forecast talking about Halloween on the 31st. We're experiencing another grand trine. However, we're shifting elements out of earth into water. Like I said, the sun in Scorpio on Samhain, Halloween. Happy Samhain for those of you celebrating that, whatever you're into. The sun in Scorpio ignites the trine to Neptune and Pluto, or Neptune in Pisces. I'm sorry, it's Mercury retrograde. Okay. But the moon, who transits very quickly, okay, is the igniting factor in this experience. The moon transits every 2 to 3 days, the quickest little satellite that we have. And when she shifts into Cancer, that starts the grand water trine between Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, in between your 4th, 8th, and 12th house, the most psychic of houses. And this is a very psychic, nebulous water trine, dreamy, instinctual energy on the last day on Halloween, when the veil is the thinnest between this plane and the next, between the living and the dead. So this water trine is just this most beautiful energy, and it's affecting the houses that are most quiet, Leo. So you will be affected by your dreams, your intuition, your psychic ability, your rest. And it's really a beautiful energy for the home environment, considering the 4th house is wrapped up in there. So let me get to your cards, and I wanted to take a moment also to pay homage to Pamela Coleman Smith, because I'm using the Rider-Waite deck, simple crossed back, plaid back, but I received this deck from the French Quarter of New Orleans. And Pamela Coleman Smith is the artist and illustrator behind the depictions on these 78 cards. And I wanted to pay honor to her and show her picture, because she has a beautiful story that touched me. And she was born February 16th, 1878 in London, England, or Middlesex, England. And she went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn to study theater and artistry. And she traveled between Kingston, Jamaica, London, and Brooklyn as an artist and as a mystic and as an intuit. And she met up with the order and joined the Order of the Golden Dawn in 1903, which is mostly known for Aleister Crowley's influence, mystical influence, and intuitive artistic guidance. And in 1909, she was called upon by Arthur Waite to, through the guidance of him, draw some depictions of what he was expressing. And I'll read a little excerpt from this card because it touched me so much, and I can't help but get emotional about her story. But they say, under the guidance of Arthur Waite, she undertook for a small token payment a series of 78 allegorical paintings, described by Waite and rectified as a tarot pack. The designs were published that very same year by William Rider and Son. That's where they get Rider-Waite. And they exemplify the mysticism, ritual, imagination, fantasy, and deep emotion of the artist. Despite Pamela's occasional art shows and favorable reviews by critics, the continued slow sales of her works and rejections by commercial publishers left her deeply disappointed. She never married. She had no known heirs. She never had children. She had only one heir, an elderly female companion she shared her flat with in London. And she died on September 18th, 1951, penniless and obscure. There was no funeral to honor her life. There was no memorial service to touch upon the impact her work would one day have upon her admirers. She died disappointed that her paintings and writings failed to achieve success, yet never stopped believing in herself. Pamela Coleman Smith would all be forgotten except for the 78 tarot paintings known as the Rider-Waite Tarot Pack. She would no doubt be astonished and gladdened to know that today the deck touches the hearts and emotions of millions of people around the world. Now, there's not a single reader out there that doesn't own a Rider-Waite deck. It's usually the deck that some people start with. I didn't learn on the Rider-Waite, but it's still an important deck because of the original artwork and how it's dated so far back in history. So, let me read for you. I wanted to share that. I'm actually taking time in every single reading to read her story. This one I actually managed not to full-on cry, because as I read them, I'm getting better and better about the emotions. But it's raw to me, her story. So I just want to show her face again. Pamela Coleman Smith. She's an inspiration, and I want to give her the respect that she absolutely deserves. Okay, Leo. What is going on for you in October? And also, if you want to read with me, I'm at audreyalison.com, and I have another radio show coming up on October 15th. I was asked back for a third time, Goddess Alive Radio, as a special guest, taking callers for an hour, and I will have more information about that on my Facebook page on October 15th or earlier. So I wanted to let you know about that. It's been successful. Leo, here's your reading. Here are your cards. The Two of Coins, the 2nd and 6th house, the influence of earnings, and also the resourcefulness, getting creative with how you earn them, the choice between two positions, and possibly choosing which one will pay you more. We'll see what else comes up first. The King of Wands, fire sign male, or representing Leo, yourself. It could be an Aries or a Sagittarius as well, but this is your card as far as the male Leos out there, and even the females who are gaining their own authority right now. It's also expediting your own creativity and taking control of your path, taking action. The Wands are the fire cards. The Queen of Wands. Amazing. You can't make it up. Well, then here's the female Leos. This is amazing. I want to see what else comes up. You have 2 at the end. The Page of Pentacles. Okay, you guys are earning. This is absolutely about your money and the 2nd, 6th, and 10th house, which are affected tremendously. God, I love that I picked both the Wands and the Star. Okay, so this is recognition in the 10th house. It also is the sign of Aquarius. It represents Aquarius in the Tarot, but it's success and also peace and spirituality. That water trine. See the water bearer on this card? Even though Aquarius is an air sign, this could represent the water trine at the end, the 4th, 8th, and 12th house. This is a spectacular reading, Leo, and you know what? They nailed it. They nailed it with the King and Queen of Wands right there. Saving your money, being resourceful, your earnings. Someone coming in to deliver some more money to you. The Page is a messenger. The Page has some extra support financially. Also the protector of your own health and wealth. The 6th house, health and work. It's really about the protection of your money right now and making sure you have a secure foundation for your future. You are being recognized for your talents and your skills, Leo. It's time to shine, the star, literally, and ruled by the sun. The eclipse energy we're experiencing now, and that eclipse that we had September 27th, I hope I published these way before then. Yeah, I will. That eclipse energy is opening up energy into your recognition as well. And these cards are perfect in alignment with the astrology. You can't make it up. I'm shuffling this deck throughout the whole reading. And I really feel like your message is to remain secure. With the star comes peace. So remain peaceful. And things, you don't have to get anxiety about things. They will work out. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Audrey Alison, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.